Okay, so welcome everyone. If you just want to come to a seated position to begin with here, to our partner schools joining us on YouTube, again, apologies for the lighting, but we're here at school again and we're just running a session in our studio. So given that it's really hot at the moment, what I thought we could all do today is engage in some hot yoga, okay? Now, normally this would be done in an even hotter room than this. And sometimes hot yoga is referred to as Bikram yoga. But I want to go on a little rant about Bikram yoga. Bikram yoga is a really awful type of yoga, in my opinion, because it's not only a self-glorification of the guy that invented it, so to speak, Mr. Bikram. He was also a very unpleasant character that did some pretty unpleasant things to people over his life. He also patented this particular type of yoga. So if you do Bikram yoga, you have to essentially pay him. And that is just not what yoga is about at all. Yoga is about egalitarianism, equality, looking to diminish the ego, whereas Bikram himself was one of the most egotistical characters you could possibly imagine. So we're not doing Bikram yoga, we're doing hot yoga today. And I think we're going to base it on a famous routine that I did at the World Yoga Festival a couple of years ago called 108 Sun Salutations. We won't do 108, don't worry. But we'll see if we can get through 20 to begin with, to really kind of get a bit of a cardiovascular workout going. And then we'll finish with some lighter kind of stretches just to see things off, okay? So let's just begin in this cross-legged position, bringing the hands over the head, and let's sweep you can mirror me here. So let's take our left hand to our right knee, bring the other hand behind the glute, take a nice breath in, and then look over the right shoulder. Take 3 nice deep breaths. With each exhalation, just looking a little further over the shoulder. We're going to shoot the hands up over the head again. I'm going to come around onto the other side. Again, 3 nice deep breaths. If you're really lucky, you might get a little bit of a crack in the back, which is no bad thing. Okay, soles of the feet together. And we're just going to try and straighten that spine as much as we can while pushing not just the soles of the feet together, but the knees down to the floor. Okay, quite a difficult stretch, this one. Although some of you I can see have got very good hip flexibility. Others, like me, less so. And that's fine. Yoga is all about, yeah, Theo, that's great actually. You can push down on it if you've got the flex. Be careful, particularly guys that have their knees a bit higher, because that can get really sore. But Theo, you've got great hip flex, so you're fine. Okay, let's just come into our sumo squat position here. So feet just a little bit wider than shoulders, toes pointing out, and we can just open the hips up a little bit here, trying to keep the back as straight as possible. Taking some nice deep breaths in. And if anyone wants to practice their crow quickly, we can do that, all right? For those that might be new to this, you can either stay in the sumo squat position, or you can gently start to shift the weight onto your hands, and eventually maybe bring one foot off the ground and then maybe the second foot follows it, okay? This is really more of a balancing than a strength exercise. And I just thought we'd get a little bit of crow because I know that you all like doing that, okay? So we'll just do our last few breaths in crow if we're still in there. And we're going to jump back into a plank, okay? From the plank, we're going to come down through Chaturanga Dandasana. And we'll just gently lead with the heart and come up into a baby cobra here, pointing the elbows back. And then we're going to push into our downward dog. Now, during these sun salutations, our downward dog is actually going to be our resting pose, okay? So we'll do the first few fairly slowly. And then really, once you've got used to the routine, I won't talk you through the motions so much as just give you the breathing. All right, so from here, we're just going to hop forward into our half bend. We're going to fold, so get our chest to our knees. We're going to take a big breath in as we reach right up, and we're going to come down through prayer. Okay, so we're going to be working on a sun salutation today called Surya Namaskar A, which is the starting sun salutation for Ashtanga yoga and other types of yoga, okay? If you were to do the 108 sun salutations, it's a slightly different sun salutation that we work with. But to be honest, This is more about getting a bit sweaty, getting a bit of a workout on today, rather than any sort of spirituality that might be associated with 100 meters. Okay, so just take one big breath into Tadasana. So hands down, shoulder blades back, pull that belly button into the spine, slight bend in the knees, big breath in, big exhale, and we're going to inhale, hands up. We're going to exhale, bend the knees, chest to quadriceps. Try and get the glutes as high as you can. Half bend, straighten legs, straighten back. From here, as quietly as we can, let's try and jump backwards. No thudding, just as I say. We're going to come down through chaturanga. We're going to keep our toes together, our heels together, our knees together, and then we're going to bring the hips off the ground for full up the dog. And then we're going to try and come over our toes for a down dog here. Okay? We're going to take 5 breaths to rest in down dog. Remember, with downward dog, first thing you want to do is just try and push that floor away from you with your hands. Let your head rest down. Bring your chest as close to your knees as you can. And then you can think about trying to straighten the legs. From here, as quietly as we can, we'll hop forward into a half bend. As we exhale to fold, big reach up, touch the hands together, try and crush the head with the arms as we come down through prayer. So I'll call the poses 1 or 2 more times, and then I'm just going to do the breaths after that, okay? So inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, chest to knees. Inhale, half bend, which is straight leg, straight back. We're going to have a quiet jump back into plank. Much better. Elbows pointing back down through chaturanga. We're going to sweep up into an upward dog, and then we're going to push back into a down dog. 5 resting breaths. Remember to try and breathe through your nose at all times. One more breath in down dog. Then a little hop into half bend as we inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up. Crush the head and arms come down. So I'm going to call it 1 more time, and then I'm just going to call the breaths for the last 17. Okay? We ready? And we're going to do, 17. Remember, we're meant to be doing another 106 or 105. So, yeah, at least we're not here for 2 hours, right? So, big reach up on the inhale. Crush the head with the arms. As we dive bomb down, get our chest to our knees. Half bend, straighten legs, straighten back. Gentle, quiet jump back into plank down through chaturanga, elbows pointing back. Upward dog, hips off the ground. Down dog, 4 or 5 breaths. As quiet as we can, hop forward, half bend. As we exhale, we're going to bring the chest onto the quads. Inhale, big reach up. And exhale, down through prayer. So you should now know the routine off by heart. We've done it a few times anyway throughout our time together. If you need reminding, just have a little look up. Anytime I call a breath, there's going to be a change in the movement, all right? So, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 resting breaths. As quiet as we can, hop to the front of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we're going to start to speed this up a little bit, not too much more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, inhale, and exhale. So we're nearly a fifth of the way through, but I think in terms of actual duration, we're probably halfway through because I was explaining this in quite a bit of detail to begin with. One more breath and down dog. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale for 5. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. I've already lost count, but I think we've got about 13 left, okay? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Taking nice deep breaths as we're in this resting pose. If at any point you are getting fatigued and you need a break, you can just take a break in child's pose, okay? Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okie dokie. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. So we're nearly halfway through. What you'll notice is anytime we inhale, just to give you guys a little break here, anytime you inhale, you tend to be looking up or forwards. And anytime you exhale, you tend to be looking down. That's a good rule of thumb to remember when we're doing the sun salutations. Okay, 11 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So Casper just joined us. So I'll call it with the poses once for you. Okay, we've got 10 more to go. And hopefully you'll then pick it up and I'll just call the breaths for the last 9. Okay, so reach up, inhale. Chest to knees, exhale. Half bend, exhale. Sorry, inhale. Jump back, exhale. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. 5 breaths. Okay, jump forward on the inhale into half bend. Exhale into a forward fold, chest to knees. Big reach up, crush the head with the hands and the arms as we inhale, looking up, down through crab. Okay, 9 more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, quietly, exhale as we jump back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Up dog inhale. And rest for 5 breaths downward. Remember, trying to breathe only through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 7 to go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Try and keep those jump backs quiet. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale quietly. As I'm the one that thuds down. Sorry. Inhale. And exhale. Now, one thing you might start noticing, because it's hot in here, and because we're doing a bit more of a cardiovascular session today, you might get quite a bit of sweat on your palms. Just be careful as we inhale. You might just need to change your grip around a little bit to stop you sliding around. Okay, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 5 to go. It's also a good idea this time of year to do yoga with a towel or something beside you, just to help get a bit of sweat off sometimes, okay? Saying that, I'm sure none of us will remember to bring a towel to any of these sessions, but top tip that maybe we won't adhere to. Okay, 5 to go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sorry, I've just hurt my hip a little bit. Exhale and then inhale, up to come. And down through prayer. Okay, 4 more to go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Someone's already got a towel, nice. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. My brother actually practices a lot of yoga. He's lived in Thailand and India and Mexico. He's trained all over the place. He practices, he has a towel over his mat at all times. It's a very good idea, yeah. Okay, 3 more, all right? I can see we're losing enthusiasm for this, but just 3 to go, all right? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, that was a thud from me. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 to go. Big reach up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, hop forward, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And on this one, we're going to come into chair pose for the last one, okay? I know, right? Couldn't get much nastier than this. So make sure that you can see your toes over your knees. Maybe the big toes are touching together. With each exhalation, just try and sink a little deeper into the chair. Hands together overhead. And exhale, release. Well done, guys. So look, we'll just do a few, let me check the time here. We'll just do a few finishing poses with a little bit of meditation. But that's not easy stuff, you know. I don't know about you, you're all a lot younger and fitter than me, but I'm certainly a little bit fatigued from that. But it's really good actually to repeat the same thing over and over sometimes, because probably what you noticed as we were going through that is that your forward fold, your downward dog, and the other postures that we were doing really improved. And you were probably able to go deeper and deeper into them. Looks like the bowling action's getting good as well. All right, let's come to the front of the mat again. Hands behind the back. Bring the shoulder blades together, slight bend in the knees. You're going to do Tadasana variation here with the hands behind the back. Okay, try and bring those hands up as high as you can. And we'll just sink into that chair pose again. And from here, what I want you to do is toe lock. Okay, so your index finger and your big finger lock around your big toe, elbows pointing up and come into a forward fold. We'll take 5 breaths in forward fold. With each exhalation, try and raise the glutes even higher. Let the head hang down. The most important thing is to keep the chest on the quads. Keeping hold of those toes if you can, half bend. 5 breaths in half bend. And then into a forward fold again. Hands behind calves this time. Half bend for 1 breath, and then we will step back into a plank. And I'd like us please to bring our right knee to our right wrist. We're going to flex through this front foot. We're going to point back with the toes in our back foot. And we're then just going to see if we can come down onto elbows. If it's your right leg that's forward, then you're going to need to try and push the left hip down. The left hip's going to want to come off the ground, okay? So wherever you find yourself, whether you're right down at the bottom here, or whether you're right up at the top here, try and push that left hip down, or the right hip if you've got your left foot forward. Breathing nice and deep. And what you'll notice probably is that even though we were doing lots of active sort of vinyasa flow type yoga there, in some ways this more yin focused yoga is kind of harder actually, because you've got to stick with the discomfort of, you know, in this case, the right glute biting a little bit. let's come through plank, and we'll bring our left knee to our left wrist, unless you did it the other way around, then obviously right to right. Again, flexing through this front foot. I'm going to try and come down onto our elbows as we point our back toes away behind us. It's going to be the other hip now, the right hip, that's going to want to come up. So at all times, you're just going to try and push that down to the ground, okay? Okay. From here, let's come back through plank. We'll just hold plank for a couple of breaths. And then we'll gently touch down. If you guys have got one of the thinner mats, you might want to just get a little fold in here because it can be quite intense on the knees. All right, and just place your knees onto that fold. If you're in the thick mats, you don't need to worry about it. And if you're at home watching this and you've got your carpet underneath, you'll be fine. Okay, unless you have particularly sensitive knees. We'll just take a couple of resting breaths in this seated variation here. And then we'll come forward into a grounded lunge, left foot forward. You're going to bring the hands up over the head. And then we're going to try and catch that foot at the back. Even if you just grab it with one hand like this, that's fine, but see if you can get both hands onto it. Okay? And you're simultaneously pulling the foot in with the hands, but pushing the hands away with the foot. From here, we're just going to come and sit back next to that foot, not on top of that foot, next to it. Okay? We're going to try and keep our back as straight as we can. Keep that front foot flexed. And then maybe we might be able to lean forward and just grab hold of that foot there. If not, see if you can get hold of the shin, or even if you're just holding the quad, that's absolutely fine. Try and keep the back as straight as you can. You can see mine's pretty bent at the top. That's all right. And then we're just going to gently lift out of this posture, okay, and come back to a seated position on our heels. I certainly didn't demonstrate the most eloquent way of doing that to you, so I'll try on the next one to show you how to do it properly. We're going to come forward with the right foot now, so the left knee is grounded. Going to bring the weight over that knee. You might need just to adjust as I have a little bit there. Hands overhead again on this side. And if it's accessible to you, just see if you can catch hold of that back foot. Or just stay with the hands overhead. If you can't get hold of this foot at all, then just work at the genesis of this posture. I say genesis as if there is a beginning to it. There are no beginnings and no ends to yoga postures. I'm sure Bikram would try and tell you otherwise. But as we've already established, he doesn't know what time it is. Okay, release. And then we're just going to bring that weight onto the hands as we transition. And remember, we're not sitting on the foot, we're sitting to the side of the foot. Try and keep it as close to the body as you can, all right? And if you're able, maybe see if you can grab hold of that toe. Try and keep the body as straight as possible, not as easily done said, but. And then what we should really try and do here is just sweep that foot round to the side. That's the more elegant transition. It probably still wasn't elegant, if we're being honest, but more elegant. Now I'm debating whether to make you do standing wide-legged forward fold or seated. I think we deserve seated today, don't we? Yeah. So if you've got that mat folded over, unfold it. And come and just spread your legs wide in the straddle position here. Just use the hands behind the back initially just to act as some scaffolding. And then gently start to maneuver the body forward a little bit. Now, over the years since I've started doing more strength training, and less of this ridiculous thing that you can see on my chest, Ironman triathlons. I've noticed that my flexibility has massively declined. And the reason I mention this is, don't worry, you know, I used to be able to get onto the elbows immediately and then almost get my forehead onto the ground in this. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near that anymore. And that happens when you get a bit older. But also your body changes over time, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, you know, if today this doesn't feel as good as it did last week, don't worry. It doesn't matter, it's fine. See if you can grab hold of the toes maybe. That's an achievement in itself. Otherwise, just seek after like no way. Well, that's fine. See if you can get hold of the shins then, all right? Try and keep those feet as flexed as you can, all right? Toes pointing right up to the sky. And let's see if any of us can come onto the elbows. For me, the elbows at the moment is an achievement, and I can just do it. Head's almost there for a couple of you. And yeah, you can absolutely bend the knees a little bit if you want, okay? If we bend the knees, we can see suddenly the elbows become much easier. Let's bring the soles of the feet together now, okay? Let's do a little time check to see how we're doing. Okay, we'll do a few more asanas and then we'll finish with a little 5-minute meditation, okay? Ed, you got a watch on or? No. I'll tell you when it's 5-2, all right? Okay, so let's just push ourselves forward towards our heels here, and again, use the hands as the scaffolding, the soles of our feet together. What I mean by scaffolding is if we were to, I'll demonstrate it, I won't crack my head. You see how I just fall backwards there? Okay, now that's due to a very weak core at the moment, but using your hands just to help support your body and bringing your shoulder blades together, it just allows your body to get into positions that it wouldn't otherwise be able to, which is obviously a big part of yoga. And as things are starting to reopen now after, well, I don't know, with this R number going up, who knows what's going to happen. But if you're able to get to a yoga class where you can get adjustments from your yoga teachers, those are the best classes to go to, because what adjustments allow you to do is go deeper into different postures and whatever else, rather than just copying the teacher, which is obviously what we have to do at school. I can't be adjusting you guys, unfortunately. Well, you could say fortunately. What I mean is unfortunately for your yoga practice. But obviously there are limitations in that respect. But if you go to a proper yoga class with adjustments, I'd highly recommend it, okay? We're going to cross the legs around here, okay? I'm going to come down onto our elbows. It's a lot easier getting onto the elbows with crossed legs rather than wide legs. Feels good. Let's see if we can try and straighten that back a little bit now. Get the forehead onto the ground if you can. Some of you find that super easy.
I think maybe I can get my hair to touch it, but...
Given the length of my hair, I don't think that's a particularly massive achievement. Well done, Ed, that's great from you. Let's cross the legs the other way around now. And it's going to feel a little bit weirder doing it on this side. Let's see if we can get the head down on this side as well. You might find, well, no, some of you it's like no problemo at all. Others like me are a bit more no bueno. How are you finding? Oh, we'll just straighten up like a boss. You guys all make me feel bad. But yoga isn't about feeling bad. Yoga is about doing what is good for you. I think we will finish with a supine twist. So come into semi-supine, which basically means lie on the ground with your knees in the air. And what we're going to do is we're going to cross our right leg over our left. Any gents that are on YouTube here and everyone in this room, just be careful of not crushing anything particularly important at this stage, okay? We're going to have our right shoulder glued on the ground, and we're going to allow our knees to come over to the left-hand side. We're going to look over to the right hand for this wonderful supine twist. You're going to use that pressure from your left hand on your right leg just to help elongate the spine in this wonderful twist here. As we come to center, we're going to cross our legs over the other way. We're going to put our right hand on our left leg now. We're going to have our left shoulder on the ground looking over the left shoulder as we twist onto the other side. And very lightly, we'll come into Supta Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet together. Maybe just shuffle your boots a little closer to the soles of your feet. Cool, sorry, that's my alarm. I'll stop that. So we're just going to then mirror the hands with the feet. Okay? Try and pull that belly button down to the ground. Try and keep the whole of the spine on the floor. Take a nice few deep breaths before we go into our Shavasana, our meditation, relaxation. I try never to use the English word for Shavasana. Can anyone remember what it is? It's a horrible term. Corpse pose. Okay, so you guys can stay seated. It's 10:02, so maybe you want to head over?
Yeah, right.
Okay, cool. I'll see you over there shortly. So we've got 5 minutes of meditation. So everyone at home and everyone that's still in the room here, let's just close our eyes down. Just lie down in a nice relaxed position. Okay. You're copying me because I'm seated. I'll lie down as well then. Okay. So let's come and lie down in this position. Get the knuckles to the ground. Get the head away from the body. Maybe even scoot some flesh away from the body down towards the feet. Close the eyes down. And take some really nice, deep, relaxing breaths. What I want you to imagine as we do our Shavasana today is with each exhalation, we are just falling and melting and dissipating into the ground. Because yoga is about unity of duality. It's about bringing the mind and the body together. And in the same way, the realization really is that you're at one with the universe, you're at one with the world. So the more you can work with this idea, this thought of melting into the ground and becoming one with everything, the more content, the more settled you will find your mind becomes. So just work with that thought for these few minutes. Every exhalation, we're just going to melt into the ground. And this is why meditating during Shavasana and focusing at this stage is so beneficial, because we're nice and tired from our asanas, from our yoga poses. Cheers, guys. So that melting into the ground is made even easier, given that we are feeling a little bit tired already. So just work with the breath. Nice sharp inhale and then a long exhale. And all the time we're exhaling, we're just allowing that body to relax just a little bit more. And really start to focus now on how the body feels against the ground. You can imagine that your body is butter and the ground is a hot piece of toast. And with each exhalation, you're just melting away into it. Or you can imagine water going down a sink plug. Anything that involves submitting yourself, losing yourself to another entity or situation. Because yoga, unlike what Bikram wanted, yoga is about dispelling the ego. It's about letting ourselves go, rather than trying to build ourselves up with any kind of false modesty now. I'm not saying building yourself up isn't important, of course it is. But I genuinely believe that yoga gives us a humility, which in turn gives us a confidence that we might not otherwise have. So really just focus in on allowing yourself to melt away into the ground. Do a couple more minutes here. With each exhalation, just allowing yourself to go deeper and deeper into the ground with each exhalation. I think we'll just try and work in silence for the last minute. Just imagining yourself melting away into the ground now. Allow the whole body to relax, the face, hands. Just focus on that breath and on the feeling of the body. Drifting away into the ground. And gently beginning to wiggle the toes of the feet, blinking the eyes open. And in your own time, just coming to a seated position on the mat. No rush. And for those of you that have joined us online today, thank you very much. Apologies again for the lighting. It's not ideal, but I hope you enjoyed the session, something a bit different. Always try and do something a little bit different with each session. So goodbye for now and take care. Hopefully see you all again soon.